Recession is when a neighbor loses his job. Depression is when you lose your job. If you have been following financial news, you can obviously see the articles, headlines, and news on signs of an impending recession in 2023. If the prediction of a recession turns out to be true, you might see hard times in the economy, people might lose their jobs, and businesses might make fewer sales. But in this recession, you can master your money and build wealth. Watch this video on how you can prepare yourself for the next market crash and come out on the bright side when the recession is over. We will discuss offensive and defensive financial decisions you can make during the recession so that you can make the best use of the market crash and get richer when the dust settles. This could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build wealth because now could be one of the easiest times to significantly increase your net worth if you know what you're doing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you are getting value out of this video. Meet Mr. John and Mr. Mike, who are very best friends. They both are very financially educated and have made good use of their savings in a diversified manner. For ease of explanation and calculation, let's assume their financial status is as follows. They both worked for the same employer. They make a salary of $150,000 per year. They have retirement account 401k balance as $85k. Both have Roth IRA set up with balance of $20k. They're making mortgage payment of $2,100 per month. They contribute $200 per month towards Kids 529 Education Fund. Current balance is $7,000. They have credit card balance of $4,000. Both have car loan of $20,000 and make a monthly payment of $500. They spend $500 per month towards entertainment expenses. Both make sure to invest $1,000 monthly towards stocks and index funds. They contribute $1,000 towards monthly savings, which is currently at $35,000. Let's see how Mr. John and Mr. Mike will tackle the recession of 2023. Mr. John was considered a very valuable employee and had a job that was well secured. His employer recognized this by awarding him a $15,000 bonus and a promotion. With the bonus money, John chose to replace his old car with a new Tesla, boosting his monthly payment to $700. Yes, Tesla is pretty expensive. John later decided to take his family on vacation, ending up spending all of the bonus money. John discovered that his investments were losing value while checking through his investment portfolio. He therefore made the decision to discontinue making the monthly contribution to investments. He sold 70% of his investment, which was now down 3%, out of concern of more loss. He observed a similar decline in the value of his retirement account 401k and asked his employer to reduce the deduction from 11% to 5% instead. Which was a bad move. The worst, though, was yet to come. Sales at John's employer suffered greatly as a result of possibility of recession. The employer chose to reduce the number of employees in order to reduce costs. John was one of the unfortunate employees who was let go. John was surprised because he had recently received a promotion. The recession, though, is merciless. He argued with his employer and left the office, which damaged their working relationship. After losing the job, John became sad and spent months avoiding his friends out of embarrassment. His financial situation began to deteriorate. Out of panic, he sold his investment in the stock, which had dropped by 7%. His personal funds started to run out because he was still making payments towards high-interest debt from his car, credit card, and mortgage. He stopped making regular monthly contributions to the 529 plan for the child's education. John had no luck finding a new job during the financial crisis since many employers had a hiring freeze. Fast forward a few months, and John had to decide how to proceed with the mortgage. He had no choice but to sell his house for a lower profit and move to a small rental property because he had no job and his finances were running out. As the days passed, John started to feel depressed, but he chose not to seek any help out of embarrassment. John had to make more challenging choices when there was only 1 month's worth of funds remaining. Despite being aware that there would be a penalty, he decided to take money out of his retirement account. He was willing to do anything in order to survive a challenging financial crisis. After the 401k, he also took money from the Roth IRA with a penalty. John got a few months of breathing room as a result, but he lacked a long-term fix for his money problem. John aggressively started looking for jobs in the meantime, but he was unsuccessful. Later, in order to survive the recession, he made the decision to join a fast food chain. Let's fast forward to 2024. When the recession ended in 2024, John was able to find a job that was a good fit for him and paid well. However, John had already lost all of his investment and had to start all over from the beginning. Let's now see how Mike tackled the recession of 2023 when faced with similar situations. Mr. Mike also performed admirably at his job and was honored for his abilities. He was regarded as a highly capable and effective worker. Mike received a great bonus of $20,000 as part of his annual performance evaluation, but he was unable to get promoted like John. Mike was tempted to make long overdue vacation plans with the bonus money. Because of the possibility of a recession, he refrained from his temptation. Since the possibility of a recession was major news, he made the decision to analyze and organize his finances so that they would have the least impact in the event of a recession. He categorized it as his defensive and offensive approach. As part of the defensive approach, Mike took the following actions. Mike strongly believed cash is king if a recession hits. So he started cutting down the expenses and building 8 to 10 months' worth of emergency funds. He contacted his mortgage lender for forbearance, which allowed him to suspend mortgage payments for a few months and increase his emergency fund. He had a car loan on a high-interest credit card. He moved the loan to another credit card, which was giving him 0% interest for the next 1 year. Mike enjoyed writing, so he wanted to turn that passion into money by signing up for freelancing websites like Fiverr and Upwork. He intended to establish a reputation on freelance websites that might be beneficial if he ever lost his job as a result of the recession. Mike did not panic and avoided making any rash decisions on his finances. Mike kept in mind focused on long-term goals and continued making regular contribution towards investments. As part of offensive approach, Mike took following actions. He had a lot of faith in his employer's reputation, but he was aware that they could fire him if necessary to keep the employer afloat. In order to be prepared in the event that he lost his job, he decided to update his resume and skill. He started attending networking events to build connections, which would help him be one step ahead in case he lost his job due to the recession. He reviewed his investment and found that its value was decreasing as the stock market was not performing well. He strongly believed in dollar cost averaging and continued to make his monthly investment contribution for investment. He looked over his employer's 401k, which he knew was losing value. He felt tempted to lower the contribution in order to increase his take-home pay, but he refrained from doing so because he was aware of the long-term consequences. He had a strong inclination to stick with the original retirement strategy. Mike observed that the stock price was quite low. He looked around, bought a few stocks, and made the decision to hold them for a very long period of time. Smart move, isn't it? Fast forward to few months into the recession. Mike was laid off, just like many other employees. He was let go by his employer. He was shocked and upset because he had always thought his skills at work were important. But he stuck to being professional, thanked his employer for this opportunity, and ended the relationship on a good note. He didn't spend any time feeling sorry for himself and immediately began looking for a new job with an updated resume that he had already prepared. He initiated contact with people he had met through networking. But at the height of the recession, no employer was prepared to hire. Mike started feeling depressed and anxious. It was reflecting on his relationship with his kids and wife. He was able to manage his financial needs from the emergency fund, but the fear of not having a job was making Mike very anxious and sad, as the emergency fund may not last long. So he decided to reach out for help. With no success in his job search, Mike started working full-time on his passive income stream of writing. He reached out to more prospective customers and got more orders for writing online. Very soon he was able to make almost 60% of his previous salary. Mike enjoyed the writing work, as it gave him flexibility and more time to spend with family. Mike was still not out of danger, so he made sure to cut down expenses and contribute as much as possible towards the emergency fund. He was happy with his finances because he worked as a freelancer and had a steady source of income. Fast forward to 2024, when the economy started to recover. The economy was returning to normal after the recession had ended. John started looking for this job actively. Fortunately, his former employer was rehiring. So they inquired as to Mike's interest in returning to the group. Mike had a strong relationship with the company when he left, so it was easy for him to rejoin. He strongly believed in buy low and sell high when it comes to stocks. The stocks which Mike bought during recession had increased in value by 300%, which made him accumulate good wealth. Both John and Mike were in a better financial situation before the recession hit. But John panicked and made lots of bad financial moves, whereas Mike approached the recession with defensive and offensive steps. To recap, here are the best decisions to make as we could get hit by a recession in 2023. Defensive strategy. Pay off high-interest debt or credit card. Start creating 8 to 12 months of emergency fund. Don't panic. Cut back on expenses. Update resume and skill. Also start networking. If possible, start a passive income. If you need mental help, then seek it. Reach out to lenders to skip few payments so that you can save more money in the emergency fund. Offensive strategy. Don't cut down on investing. Make the best use of dollar cost average and continue to invest. Keep your retirement plan on course. Buy stock when they hit rock bottom. Continue to search for job and network. Make yourself invaluable at work. The best way to survive a recession is to prepare for one before it happens. There will always be recessions, and the best way to prepare is to save and invest a part of every paycheck. Dig your well before you're thirsty. There aren't magic solutions to avoid all the risks of a recession, but if you are already managing your finances in a very conservative way, then it won't hurt nearly as bad. There's no question that a recession can lead to financial hardship. But if you do head down that road, and you're prepared for what may happen, you'll be in the best possible shape to come out the other end not only unharmed, but with a deeper understanding of what it means to wisely manage your finances. This may be your first recession as an independent adult, but it most certainly won't be your last. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Come back soon for more productivity videos.